My friends, tonight I want to talk to you about something that is very important to me, very near and dear to my heart, and that is the band Radiohead. Does anyone know Radiohead? Just that.
I'm in my performative era, so
Uh,
I know who they are.
They're, one of the biggest bands of the last 30 years. Karma Police and Creep and Paranoid Android.
Nude,
I saw them.
plastic, rainbow plastic trees.
Oh, you're so close.
Plastic rainbow trees.
There you
Trees
go.
of rainbow plastic.
Fake plastic trees?
Yeah.
There it is.
Rainbow plastic.
For the last 7 years, the band has basically been dormant. The members were off doing other things. They're working with other bands. Fans thought we might very well have seen the last of them on stage. And thankfully, as it turns out, recently we were wrong. They're back touring. But in the intervening period of time, geopolitics intervened. Radiohead has performed in Israel a whole bunch of times, as have Tom York, the lead singer, and Johnny Greenwood, who is the guitarist and is in fact married to an artist, an Israeli artist. Before 10/7, the band received its fair share of criticism from the stupid BDS movement, but they're British and they have this nonchalance about them. They didn't care. But in this last year, there's been some fractures in this band's messaging. Ed O'Brien, one of the band's guitarists, wrote a long Facebook post after Glastonbury, which is the big festival in England, about a lot of things, about a lot of bands, praising a lot of the bands. And in this post, he praised the Irish rap group Kneecap, who had given a very anti-Israel, pro-Palestine speech in the middle. And Ed O'Brien captioned it just Free Palestine. And the rest of the band, by and large, stayed quiet. So it's a 5-member band. So Ed O'Brien here openly saying Free Palestine. We have the other guitarist on the other side of the stage married to an Israeli artist. And so why do I give you this history of Radiohead? And it's not to encourage you, not just to encourage you to go home and listen to everything in its right place. But the answer lies in something that I want to quote from Ed O'Brien's post himself. It's not long after they announced that they were coming back to the stage. What he said was, for me, it's all about the conversation in person or in a community. I don't want to add to the doom scrolling. It's important to realize also that all these guys are in their 50s. So it's a very different vibe. But this will come as no shock to you. But in many ways, what's going on with social media is it's pushed people to the absolute fringes of their opinions. It rewards you to go as far as you possibly can in what it is that you believe. Your algorithm gives you that positive dopamine feedback that sends you this most provocative and the least well-reasoned posts. They create for you a confirmation bias echo chamber. So I want to highlight a few things. I think there are lessons we can learn, not just, on songwriting and performance. The first is that these men who met in college at Oxford and have known each other for more than 40 years, give or take, have clearly figured out how to disagree without it shattering their bonds. These guys are on stage. In fact, they only got off stage tonight a few hours ago. I'm not saying that in our own lives we allow people whose views are utterly abhorrent to us to stay around. But I also want to challenge us that perhaps if you're never disagreeing with anybody around you, whether that's people in our community, people who are your friends, people who are in your family, people who are your significant others, guess what? You're in an echo chamber. Now, Judaism, as you might expect, is very clear that respectful disagreement is critical. Look at the Talmud. The Talmud is nothing if not rabbis over the millennia arguing with each other. Educator Jeffrey Spitzer explains, I'm going to quote a fairly lengthy thing here. The message of the Gemara is not that a correct understanding is irrelevant or that there aren't correct and incorrect understandings. To the contrary, careful thinking and evidence-based argument are crucial, but they are not as important as allowing diverse views to be expressed. Or, in other words, yes, there are things that are right and wrong. Yes, there are opinions that we cannot abide, but not engaging with them is worse than that. We are meant to, in fact, to engage with one another deeply. It means opening yourself up to whatever emotions you might feel in an interaction. You might laugh and you joke and you play, but also you might cry and disagree and argue. All of this is meant to be experienced to its fullest. And every time you sand a little bit of your reaction off because you're concerned about how those people around you will respond, a little bit of you goes away. So I want to end this, which is probably my last of our tour of the fall semester, by challenging you all to make sure you are living fully and authentically. It means embracing joy and sadness, beauty and destruction, and comfort and discomfort. Shabbat shalom.